Hello and welcome everyone. So today, as you must have seen in the last class, hello and welcome everyone. In the last class, as you know, we discussed the language paper, ICC board language paper. So those who have already checked it, I guess you know how much you're going to score. There was one change. Okay, it was question number 5, I think, of the transformation. I have pinned it in the comment section. Check that also. It will be option number B as far as I remember. I've pinned the answer right below the, in the first comment you will get it. So do check that also. Rest of it is exactly same as I told you in the video itself. So today, what we are going to do is, as you can see on the screen, we are going to do the literature paper. We are going to discuss the literature paper. But because this will take quite some time, I have divided it into 2 parts. Okay. First part, we are going to do the section A part, which is the MCQ. And we will move to section C and the whole of section C, and if possible I will do one question of section D also, so that in the last class, that means in the next class of this literature paper solution answer key, you get the Merchant of Venice part and the last question of the poem part, right? Section D last question and or section D and section B in the next video. Okay, I will try to do as much as possible, but it will be a very long video if we try to do it in one class, right? 2 hours is not possible as you have written in your exam. So I will take around 15, 20, 25 minutes of this class, and the next class we will discuss again for 15, 25 minutes. So keep preparing for your exam also. In the meantime, check how much you have scored, right? So as you can see from this on the screen, we have the questions of section A. Before we move to the question, or let us just let's first start off with the first question. Where does Portia say that she and Nerissa will stay until their husbands return? This is very simple. See, it is written ki Portia say. So the right answer will be in a monastery. Number 2, what aspect of Shylock's nature is revealed in his words to bait fish with her? If it will feed nothing else, it will feed feed my revenge, any revenge. It is not pride, not envy. It is vengefulness. So it is option number C. The third question over here, Rusciano exclaims, we are the Jasons, we have won the fleece. So we are talking about the fleece over here. What is this fleece in reality? The fleece actually means not the wool, not the warm woolen blanket, Bassanio of Rusciano. It is Portia and Nerissa. The quality of mercy is not strained. Who says this to whom? As simple as that. This is a very important dialogue which we have prepared, practiced a number of times. It is Portia to Shylock. Remember that part where they were talking about that she was saying that it is like rain and droppeth from the heaven. So number 5, what does Portia ask of Antonio as a remembrance before she leaves the courtroom? It is his gloves, because you see this is Antonio. From Bassanio she asks for that ring. From Antonio she asks for the gloves. So option number D. Number 6, when Lorenzo says, fair ladies, you drop manna in the way of starved people, Portia and Nerissa, he means that Portia and Nerissa have prepared a banquet, no? Brought good news, brought divine food, returned. Divine food is the literal meaning, right? So over here it will be brought good news for Lorenzo and Antonio, manna. Okay. Now before we move to the 7th question, I will tell you ki those who are ready to prepare for your next exams, you have you can be exam ready, and now this is the time to prepare. Just sit and prepare from question papers, practice sheets, right? So this is the online platform, as you can see, Oswal. This is Oswal app, oswal.io. You can open directly the website as I have done on the screen, you can see. So this will help you in your board exam, and it will help you to customize your mock tests, right? Here you can select the subject that you want to sit for an exam, chapters, time. It can, there are a lot of questions, lakhs of questions, and there are free mock papers, mock tests from where you can practice, right? From 10 minutes to even 3 hours, okay? And that you can sit for, and you can get expert evaluation also of that paper. So you can discover your strength, of course, while you are prepared, and also your weaknesses while you are sitting for this exam. And so thousands have already benefited from these free sample papers and practice sheets. So this will help you, I believe. So don't wait. This is a slight benefit and would help you in your SWOT analysis also. So don't wait and just check in. Visit oswal.io and practice the papers that is left. English is done. Prepare for the next exam. So let's move to the paper that we were discussing. Number 7. Which of the following statement is not true of Maggie? I told you repeatedly, not questions are very common. So she was sent to the poorhouse. She was not sent to the poorhouse, right? This is the option. The short story The Little Match Girl can be called a fairy tale because it is the little girl meets her fairy godmother over here, not anything else, not magic and fantasy. It is her fairy godmother. Next, number 9. I'm not discussing much because it's not required. You are done with the paper. Just see the answers. Why did the Gujar woman strike the brass guras with a stick to produce? This will be to see which ones were empty. It makes a different sound, right? I told you. Choose the option that lists the sequence of events in the correct order. So as you can see, this will be option number D. Directly, I'll tell you 2, 1, 4, 3. So 2, 1, 4, and 3. Number 11. In my greatest Olympic prize, therefore, many a times I told you this is important. This is actually, it means a leader, and over here, leader is Hitler. Which of the following lines contains the same literary device? This one somebody asked me even, I think before the exam, 1 hour before the exam, somebody asked me this. This is not personification, this is simile. As you can see, I wandered lonely as a cloud. It is a comparison with cloud, and therefore here we have a simile where fresh as a rose in June. So this is a simile, and this one will be your answer. Number 13. Which of the following statements is used by Angelo to describe the caged bird? He opens his throat to sing will be the correct answer, because claiming the sky, moving back of the wind, thinking of another breeze is all for the free bird. 13 done. Next, number 14. When did the angel appear to Abu Ben Adam? On a moonless night? No, it was a moonlit night. 3 nights? No, 2 nights in succession. That means one after the other, 2 nights that apparition came. Select the option that shows the correct relationship between the statements. It is going to be 1 is a contrast of 2. Because see, the old walls rocked with the crowds and cries, which shows that people were excited to see him. And later on we see that there is nobody on the, it is just after 1 year that nobody was interested anymore in the leader, in the patriot. Number 16, the 8 other athletes stopped in their tracks means that they stood poised to run, they turned slowly around, slowed down gradually, halted quite suddenly. It will be halted quite suddenly, maneki, the stop suddenly, right? So, section B, as I told you, we are not going to do today, we will do it in the next class. So, we will straight off move to the third part, which is section C. So, section C, I'll give you the points. See, if you have written the points, if those points you are there in your paper, you will score proper marks in your exam. Don't worry. So, we will move to section C and we will see that what is the first chapter. It is on the way back home. It is CBR's chapter, which is the blue bead. So, let's see what are the questions from here. First question, what are the tasks that, how many times I told you that this is going to be an important question. So, if you have the book, I will tell you the line from there also. It is page number 96, the I think 1, 2, the third paragraph and the 4th paragraph, second line. So, you can write, she could toddle, she had husked corn, she had gathered sticks, she had put dung to dry, she had cooked and weeded and carried, fetched water, cut grass for fodder. She also collected paper grass from the cliffs above the river. Only 3 points are there. So, you can write long points 3. If you are writing short points like she could toddle, these for only half mark, okay? So, you can write 6 points to be on the safe side. So, this is done. Number 2, what had delayed Sibia and separated her from the village woman on the way home that day? What was Sibia doing when she heard the Gujar woman's cry for help? So, second question will be what she was doing. It is in page number 99, where you can see the whole page has answers in bits and pieces. So, first you can write that she had stored some little bowls molded of clay to harden them, right? And Sibia hung back because she wanted to see if the clay cups were still there in the cave, waiting to be painted and used, okay? So, this is your first part's answer. And the second part, where what was Sibia doing when the lady cried for help, you will say ki Sibia was coming down alone to the stepping stones. She was heavily weighted with all those, with the paper grass, and she was tired after, coming halfway. She put her load down on a big boulder to rest, and she was leaning, breathing on the fork. Okay, so she was somewhere in the middle of the river. So 3 we have done. Now this is question number 2. Next, what were the dangers that the crocodile had to overcome before it could grow into that ferocious, that huge size? So this, you will move to page number 94, the first paragraph itself. Where he had once made for the water, it was ready to fend for itself. You can simply come to the point that escaping the birds of prey by his escaping the birds of prey and the great carnivorous fishes that eat baby crocodiles. And he also he caught food, whatever was needed, and stored it in holes, ate it, and came to that enormous size. Okay. So what were the dangers at the crocodile? You can simply write these 2 points. Escaping the birds of prey, escaping the great carnivores that eat baby crocodiles. This would be enough. So third one is also done. Fourth, how does Sibia's knowledge of the ways of the jungle help her fight the crocodile? Now this is kind of, I told you, according to the national education policy, there will be questions which are somewhat value based, somewhere you have to think, right? So this one I have written down for you, the fourth answer. Just see the points. The points that you have to mention over here is, she was very, because she stayed there in that terrain, in that region, she observed animal behaviors, how a crocodile behaves and stuff. You can detail them. These are the main points. She observed the animal behaviors. She used her what should I say? She used her natural weapon, okay, and she could use the time. She could think fast, okay. She could act precisely, okay, and she could act fearlessly. These 4 points will do. You can detail on them, or simply the writing the points will do in a sentence, of course. Next, number 5, compare and contrast the mother's mood with Sibia's in the given extract. Meaning in this part, the mood you have to write. Contrasting mother was very much what? She was worried. As you can see in the lines written over here, I thought something must have happened to you. This line tells us that she was quite worried. Although she asked the child to work, but she is a mother. She is, of course, highly worried about the daughter when she did not return home on time. Okay, so she was worried about her child. This part you have to write, the first part. And the second part about Sibia, we will say, remember that irony, that part you have to write, that Sibia was bubbling with excitement. Ironically, she wasn't much moved by the fierce battle, the lethal attack of the crocodile, but she was more interested in sharing what she had actually got as a gift. She found a blue bead for her necklace. That's it. That's your answer. So give one reason to explain why each one of them was feeling this way. You can say that the mother, already you have given the reason that the mother is always worried about her child. And for Sibia, you can simply say that Sibia, this is ironic because this child was, she was a child woman. She had to work like a woman, of course, but her needs, her desires, her life, her interests were quite same as a little child. So she was interested in these two. Okay. So this is question number 5's answer. You can also write that she was so accustomed to this wild, scary life, the dangers, that she was not much worried about the crocodile attack. A more uncommon was getting a blue bead that she could wear and look pretty. Okay. So these are the 5 questions we have done for question number 4. Next, we'll move to question number 5, where we have my greatest Olympic prize. Those who have opted this, check if you have written the answers correctly. What does Avan mean by all this? So this line, all this, what does it actually mean? So if we move to, I'll again give you the page numbers that will help you to find the answers easily. If you move to page number 104, you will see it is all the answers are just one after the other. Page number 104, first paragraph is your first answer. What does Avan mean by all this? It actually means that Hitler childishly insisted that the performers were members of a master race, and it meant the nationalistic feelings were at its peak, all-time high. So you can write this. And the other part, what games does it refer to? It is the Olympic Games of the summer of 1936. That's it. So what made Owens confident of winning a gold medal or two? What made him feel that he will win the gold? So if you come to the second paragraph of the same page, you will say that he had his eye specially on running broad jump, and a year before, as a sophomore at Ohio State University, he had set the world's record of 26 feet 8, 1 by 4 inches, and everyone kind of expected, and he was also quite sure of winning. Next, number 3. What was a surprise that Hitler had kept hidden from the world? How did Owens feel when he came face to face with this surprise? So this is again in the third paragraph itself, same page. We will see that when the time came for the broad jump trials, Owen was surprised to see or startled or surprised to see a tall boy hitting the pit at almost 26 feet on his practice leaps, and he turned out to be the German named Laszlo. And how did Owens feel seeing him? Of course, Owens was extremely surprised and taken aback. Next, number 4. Describe Owens' performance in the broad jump trials. What doubts filled his mind at this time? See, this part is there, what doubts filled his mind. So you can simply write about the first 2 attempts or the third one where he was successful. So simply write you come to the last paragraph on the same page 104. Simply write on the first of the 3 qualifying jumps, Owens leaped from several inches beyond the takeoff board for a foul. On the second jump, he fouled even worse. Okay. So what was the confusion or the doubt in his mind? The second part of the question, that is question number 4, we will simply write that he was confused, he doubted himself, that he had come 3,000 miles to Berlin just to make a fool of himself because he was unable to qualify even in the qualifying rounds. That is all. Next, number 5, the last question. What makes Laszlo's behavior at the games truly remarkable in the context of the times? So, what does it? How does it become very remarkable? Again, this one you can write. It is in page number 106. The last part, slightly you have to detail the answer. Last 2 paragraphs, you have your answer, right? So the last answer is a mixture of everything. You will simply write that he was the one who came up to help a confused athlete, a worried athlete. And you can also write that after winning, after he gave his best and Owens also could give his best, okay? And they performed like real performers. And despite the fact that Hitler glared at them and even at Laszlo, okay, he was not bothered about that. He came in as a player, as a participant and shook hands, and it was really a very warm handshake, okay? So which is very strange in such a scenario, which was very which was risky and could be problematic for Laszlo also, but he did not worry about that. And the last part, that identify a theme that is common in both these 9 gold medals and greatest Olympic prize. You can write that that highlighted bold part, that it is not about winning or losing, it is all about taking part and how you play it and whether you can fight well. So that is all about a Olympic game. And you have the speciality of this, the reality of the Olympic Games was to build a friendly attachment with between the countries. So that was the real goal. So we should never forget the real goal, and that is what Laszlo had shown, right? So it should never be like a kind of a fighting intention that yes, we have to win because we cannot have a face loss in this kind of a situation where possibly some other country or enemy country is there on the other side. Okay, so that is your last part. I hope you could write this part well. I'll just move into section D. See, this is a very short one. I will just finish off with it if possible. Alright, let it be. We will discuss this in the next half, that is in the next class. We will do section D, the full of section D, and also the section B part where we have this one, Bassanio, these 2 questions, right? The drama part, section B, Merchant of Venice. So Merchant of Venice and the poem part will remain. We will do this in the next class. I will bring it as soon as possible. Possibly most probable is I will bring it tomorrow and day after tomorrow only. Okay. So tomorrow, today this will be uploaded, and tomorrow we are going to do the next one. The other 2 sections. Okay. Thank you so much. I don't want to make it very long because you also have to prepare for your exam. So that's all. See you in my next class. Bye-bye.